Hi everyone, this is Amanda Ellis of amandaellis.co.uk, Facebook page Angelic Celestial Colours, and you're watching me here on YouTube, Amanda Ellis. So we're into December. We certainly will be, probably by the time this video gets uploaded. My kids are really excited. They've got their advent calendars all set. And I've treated myself to one as well. A bit naughty actually. It's a beauty advent calendar, so bits of makeup behind the doors, and I just thought, yeah, you know, I'm going to do that this year because I love the build up to Christmas. I prefer the build up to Christmas actually to sometimes the day itself. The day itself can sometimes be I don't know, there's just so much expectation placed on it, but I love the build up to Christmas, and it takes me back to being a little girl. And I grew up, I've said this before on other videos, the first 11 years of my life we lived in this beautiful 16th century cottage, and it had a really windy staircase, and every single stair creaked when you put your foot onto it. And we used to have a tradition in our home that we would keep all of our advent calendars, and these were the days when you didn't have chocolate or makeup behind the doors. There was just a little picture, and my brother and I used to keep our advent calendars every single year, and we used to stick them back up with the new one for the year, and we were just so excited every morning to creep down the stairs and try not to wake up our parents to open every single door. And I just remember the pleasure of it, you know, the real simplicity of it as well. And to me, I think whatever has gone on for you this year, good, bad, indifferent, maybe things haven't turned out quite as you expected them to, I'm very strongly hearing as we go into December that wonderful song by Disney, Let It Go. So those of you that have got kids like I have, there is a wonderful Disney film called Frozen, and there is just that iconic tune, Let It Go. I'm not going to sing it to you, but it's wonderful. And that's what I'm hearing, you know, come on guys, let's just let it go, whatever it is, you know, whatever it is that we've been holding on to this year, that maybe hasn't worked out or has disappointed us. It might be a person, it might be a situation, it might be a job, something that just hasn't gone your way. Let it go, you know. Let's not take our baggage that we've accumulated this year into next year, 2018, okay? So I'm hearing that very clearly from Metatron. Let's just do a few notes on this beautiful bowl that I've got sitting here, and I don't know how it sounds coming across the waves, but anyway, let's just put the energy out. And I'd just like you, more than anything, just to tune into your heart space. So just put your hand onto your heart and just get a sense for one moment of how your heart feels right now, whether it feels elated, joyful, hurt, disappointed, closed, open, shielded. Maybe you can't even feel your heart, but your heart is always there, it's always beating, and the heart holds such wisdom. And more than anything this December, it's about opening up to receive, okay? Letting go of what has gone and opening up to receive. So just with your hand on your heart and just feeling that beautiful Metatron energy wanting to come in and help you receive, let's just allow the tones of the crystal bowl to come in as well. We're going to do 12 tones for the 12 months of this year. So January, letting go. February, letting go of anything that hurt. March, letting go. April, letting go. May, letting go. June, July, letting go. August, letting go. That's a big one for August. September, letting go. October, letting go. November, letting go. Letting go of the last month. And for December, we're going to ring in and we are going to receive. December, receiving. So with the energy of receiving, let's see what the first card is that we pull. Calling in the energy of Archangel Metatron. December, receiving. Can you see what that says? Let me focus the camera. It says change direction. Change direction. Okay. So it says all paths change course at some time. This is your time. Quite interesting as well, because obviously I rang in or rang out the last 11 months, letting go of what was, and we asked to receive something, some guidance for December, and the message that's come is change direction. And it reminds me of something I saw on Facebook a few days ago. You might have seen this little image yourself, and it's to do with the spiritual path. And it is there are two images, and one image is other people on their spiritual path. It's how we view other people on their spiritual path, and it's more or less a straight line with a couple of little kinks in it, but you know, we have this perception that everybody else is just going in a straight line. And then the other box shows our spiritual path, and our spiritual path is just this big mess of lines that sort of crisscross and go over each other and then go back and then go forth, and it's just like, what the hell are we doing? And that's sort of what this reminds me of, because one of the things I wanted to talk about today was actually simplicity, which is that I think a lot of the time we can, and we do, and I know I do this as well, make things more complicated and more difficult for ourselves than actually they really are. And I've always believed that actually the spiritual truths, the big spiritual truths, are actually very simple. But we don't want them to be. It's as though there is a part of ourself, and I guess it's the shadow side, or it's certainly the ego, which is very much about, no, it's got to be more complicated than that, you know? It has to be more complicated than that. You know, I ask for a sign, but then I get one, but no, that can't actually be it, you know? Maybe I'll just ask for another one, and then the other one comes, and yeah, but maybe I need a third sign. You know, we make things much more complicated than they actually are. And I feel as though many of us have been going round and round in circles a bit this year, tying ourselves up into knots. And it feels as though, again, Metatron is saying whatever isn't working, I keep hearing let it go, let it go. You have permission to change direction. If anything, I feel that the energy of December is probably going to bring in a change of direction anyway, whether we like it or not. But it doesn't have to be something that comes in like a great big tower moment for us. It's actually, December feels like it's a time to actually reflect, look back onto the last year, which has gone so quickly, but realise that the next one might go just as quick. And so therefore, if something isn't working, if something isn't right, if something doesn't feel okay, it is all right to change direction. I think a lot of the time, I said this to somebody in session work yesterday, we have an expectation that we place on ourselves in terms of where we think we should be by a certain time, by a certain age, by the end of the year or by the beginning of the year. And we can really beat ourselves up if we haven't actually achieved that or done that. And I feel there's a very soft energy coming in here, which is just saying, relax, let go. You know, in every single moment, you can reconfigure, you can come back to yourself, and you can change direction at any time that you want to, okay? Quite interested what goes with that card of change direction. Should we just see? Let's see what comes up next. So with change direction comes the energy of okay. Perfect. Oops. This is what we're trying to heal, okay, at the beginning of December. We've got change direction because you are confused, okay? You are confused. There is a lot of confusion around. It says confusion is all around you. Don't be distracted. You are actually doing the right thing. I think Metatron is saying here that even when sometimes we go down dead-end paths in life, even when things haven't maybe worked out exactly as we wanted them to, there is always something to have learnt from having gone down that dead end. I don't believe there ever is anything really such as failure in this world, because failures are just a chance to, or an opportunity just to get back up, dust yourself off and try again, and to evolve. But I think there is certainly an energy here coming in from Metatron where he is understanding that there is a lot of confusion. And he's saying to me that a lot of this confusion is also resulting from the real mix of energies that are out there at this moment. The third dimensional reality, the fourth dimensional reality, the fifth dimensional reality. I'm not going to go into what that means here. I have done other videos on that, so you can just scroll back, you know, have a look at my YouTube channel, put in third dimensional consciousness. There's a video that I've already done on all that. And I've talked a lot about this year, that within our families, within our friendship groups, within the people that we work with, within our communities, there is this big mismatch at the moment of vibrational frequencies, and it is quite confusing. But another very strong message that's come through this week from Metatron has been to try to overcome that confusion. It's really important that you link with your tribe, whatever your tribe is, whatever that means to you. It's because if you don't do that, it weakens your connection, okay? So let's just see. I want to pull another two cards that go with these two, just so I can get an overall picture of where we're going with this. Two more cards. Those two. Okay. We've got the card of the warrior. That's come up a few times when I've used this pack. This is the spiritual warrior card, okay, which is saying fight for what is right for you. You have all the strength that you need. But then we've also got the card, which I've just put upside down, of unity, which is sort of tying in with what I just said about needing to belong to something, to belong to some sort of tribe, okay? And it says that you are on a journey of ever-increasing growth, move towards unity. So I think there is a feeling here, there is an appreciation by spirit that many of us are confused at the end of this year. Things might not have worked out exactly as we thought they were going to. Things might not have happened. I know I'm repeating myself, but I think it's a really important point. But you are asked just to dig deep, to be the warrior that you are, and to realise that I also feel this card, this Unity card, is saying many are going through this at this time. Everything has been shaken up, you know, all the big portals that we've walked through this year. And don't forget, there's another one coming up around the Christmas and New Year period, and the 21st, 22nd of December as well. I will do another video sort of later on in December as the energies start to build. But at the moment, yeah, that there is just this appreciation. There is a lot of jangled energy out there. I go back to my earlier point though, it's really important when you're feeling that to also focus on the beauty, not to focus on the problem so much, you know, to focus on the wonder, to focus on the magic, that story I told you about the advent calendars at the beginning. I mean, my inner child is so excited to open her advent calendar on the 1st of December. And okay, the present inside the advent calendar isn't for my child, it's for me as a grown woman. You know, it's like, have I got a new lipstick or have I got a new blusher? But I'm really excited about it. And it comes in this beautiful box. And in fact, I feel as though I need to show it to you. Shall I go and get it? I'm going to pause the camera. Hold on. Okay, guys, I went and got it. So this is a bit extravagant, I have to admit, but I took the view that I've worked really hard all year and I deserved a little present for myself. So I bought it for myself with my own money. Not that I have to justify that, but anyway. I want to show you this because this is about wonder. And actually look what it's called. It says Beauty in Wonderland on the box. And it's very Narnia-like. Can you see the colours? It's all very... This is a bit girly, so apologies to my male viewers, but I'll only spend a minute on this. But just look at this. Look, it opens up. Can you see? And then there's a little mirror up here. Okay. And then every one of these drawers opens. And in each drawer... Let me do the lower one so you can see. Look at this. That's box number 10. Isn't it great? You know, it's just so fantastic. I'm just so excited about it. This is box number 4. No, that's box number 14. Okay, so they're all beautifully wrapped. And, do you know, it actually feels quite important, this, because over and above the fact it's a treat for myself and it's linking me to my inner child, and we all need to be doing that this December. This is a bit like what life can be, you know. So much of the time in life, what we do is this. In fact, we don't even do that. We hide the box, you know. We can't even see that there are all these wonders to be discovered out there because we're so focused on all this, excuse my language, but crap, you know, all the problems, all the heaviness. And yes, I know that they're there and I know we can't ignore that. You know, all of this work is about facing that. But come on, December is also a time for joy and play, and let's get into the vibration of that because that's going to lift the vibration and it's going to help you actually to deal with this, okay? Because if this is life, what Metatron is saying is, can we do this? Can we open it up? Can we actually start to have a little dig around in here, have a look at what it all is, you know? I think I've made my point, but you know, it's really is what I'm sensing this December. So let's just put that back. Okay, you can see why I was excited now, can't you? Just put that out of shot. Okay. But it's like joy. We talk about joy as being one of the best ways to raise our vibration, and we forget that it's the simple things sometimes. It doesn't have to have been something that was quite expensive actually, but it doesn't have to be that, you know. It can be things that don't cost money as well. But, you know, let's open up to the wonder of this time of year. And for sure, there will be probably things that kick off collectively in December that attempt to lower the vibration, you know, and God forbid anything happens. But, you know, we live in a world where people want to lower the vibration, particularly around festive periods. But don't let them, you know, don't let them spoil that joy and that wonder that you do have within you, you know. And I really feel more than anything that's what helps us with this as well, because if you think about a change of direction, people often say to me, you know, Amanda, you know, can you tell me what my life purpose is? And well, no, I can't really, because at the end of the day, your life purpose, it has to come from you. I can steer you and I can help you and I can facilitate that process, but I can't tell you, because you have to find that for yourself. It's part of the wonder of life. It's the thing about opening it all up and exploring, what do I like, what don't I like, what am I really surprised at, what am I a bit disappointed at. You know, it's a great process, life, of just unravelling all of it. But this whole thing about, you know, tell me my direction, and if you're thinking about that at the moment, you know, what is it I'm supposed to be doing in 2018? Can I just give you that one word, joy? What is it that fills you with joy? That the people that tend to be successful and the most happy in life are the ones that are following some sort of passion or calling. And that can be absolutely anything. It can be about baking cakes. It can be about doing spiritual work. It can be about writing a book. It can be about standing behind a shop counter serving people, if that's what makes you happy. But it's about doing it with a joyful spirit. And I really believe, more than anything, Metatron is saying, come on here, you know, let's raise our vibration, and let's really try to look for the beauty this year. I asked on Facebook yesterday for some questions for a question and answer series of videos that I'm going to be doing, and I'll try and do them through December. And thank you so much for all of you that wrote a question for me to give to Metatron. And I suppose by the nature of the question, a lot of people were obviously talking about problems, you know. So it's almost like, Metatron, please help me with this problem, or help me with this situation in the world that I can't understand. But it was very much problem focused. And he said to me just very gently this morning, when I was just thinking about, you know, making the video at some point this month, he was saying, nobody asked you or me about how to discover the beauty, how to discover more of the wonder of this world. And maybe just think about that for one moment, because it actually feels a very important point. How can we individually and as a species look more for the beauty, look more for the magic, look more for the wonder? And I think more than anything, we have to have our eyes open to that. We have to be aware that we're even looking for it. So that feels like it's quite an important point. I'm going to pull now, changing subject slightly, I'm going to pull a crystal card, okay? And let's just see what crystal may be able to help us this. Where are the cards gone? Oh, here, right. I think I had them out here. This is the Juji Hall Crystal Wisdom Healing Oracle deck. Those of you that always ask me which decks I use, okay? This was a gift from a lovely friend in Canada. Thank you. You know who you are. And that's the other thing, you know, look at the people in your life that bring joy, that bring beauty. You know, there's so, the animals, they start barking as soon as I say that. Look at the animals, you know. We're so focused so much of the time, particularly when we're spiritual people, because we're wanting to evolve and we're wanting to heal, and absolutely that has to be done. And we have to look at the shadow. You know, those of you that have followed me a long time know that I never shy away from that side of the work. But I feel this December, Metatron is saying, no, you've almost got an opportunity here to look for the joy, look for the beauty, and look at the people in your life, you know, look at the animals in your life, look at the beautiful pieces of art that you might have around you or in your local town. I'm hearing the words art quite strongly. You know, cultural influences. Open your eyes. You know, it's like we walk around the whole time, and I do it myself. We have our mobile phone, and we're like that, aren't we? My daughter tells me off about it. She'll say, oh, God, you're on Facebook again. And she's absolutely right to tell me off, because we walk around like this, and we all do it. And it's like, put that down, you know, put it down and actually look up to the stars. You know, look out to that beauty, you know, that sunshine. I'm only going to just shut it out a little bit because it interferes with the light here, but, you know, that's what Metatron is saying this month. Right, let's have a crystal then. Let's have a crystal for December, please, which might be totally unrelated to what I've been saying, or it might be confirming what I'm saying. Let's just see which crystal energy wants to come out and play this December. Aquamarine, one of my favourite crystals actually. I love the energy of aquamarine. Let's just see what the message is that goes with aquamarine. Okay, so it's a beautiful blue stone. Turquoise is absolutely my favourite colour, so turquoise, any turquoise coloured stone would be attractive for me. Number 16, aquamarine. Let's see what the message is that goes with this. Okay, I have to take my glasses off because they're not bifocals. Okay, aquamarine is about the energy of hope. Okay, so it says aquamarine has long been a healing gem associated with the sea, and also with stimulating psychic abilities. Yeah, okay, so I was just thinking about the water element here. I'm going to spray that actually as I read the words to the aquamarine, linking into the energy of water. It says, it is confirming what I've been talking about. It says, release self-defeating programs. Listen to your inner guidance, but be objective. Accept what's on offer. Watch out for idle gossip. Tie up loose ends before moving on. Avoid procrastination. There is no reason to lose the hope in your heart, since well-being is a state of mind. So aquamarine is said here to be a crystal that's just very good for helping us with the energy of hope. And we all need a bit of hope, you know, at all times of the year, but maybe particularly this month, okay? Now, I'm going to just mention a couple of the sprays that I've got here that I felt were linked into December's energy. Those of you that don't know, because sometimes people don't know that actually we make these, Tracy and I make these sprays for you to encapsulate the Archangel Metatron energy and a few other energies that we link into as well, some of the other archangels, for example. And they are for sale on my online shop. And a lot of you know that already, but I'm just saying it because some people don't seem to realise that we actually sell them. Now, the energies that I'm picking up for this December: inner child. Obviously, you saw my delight earlier, my inner child's delight. Inner child, which is a beautiful rose colour, goes really beautifully with the sapphire piece, okay? So any of you that are just wanting to link into that inner child and let her or him feel the joy. You know, I've been talking very much about, you know, let's feel the joy, let's feel the wonder. Even if you've got difficulties around you, even if you've got challenges around you, I'm not pushing those away. I understand there's a lot of pain out there at the moment, but to keep focusing on the pain and to keep focusing on the difficulty sometimes doesn't do us any good. Sometimes we need a little bit of time off just to smell the roses, as it was. But your inner child needs that as well, you know. So if you can't do it for your adult self, do it for your inner child. So the rose is a very beautiful spray that helps with that. Okay, rose. Don't know why that's not focusing very well, but there we go. And the sapphire, okay. I also feel coming up to Christmas time, we have to bring in the energy of Archangel Gabriel, okay? I might spray that in a moment. Archangel Gabriel, very much linked to December. And of course, Gabriel was the one that brought the message, wasn't he? Brought the message for the world, as it were. So maybe he has a message for you this December. Keep your heart space open. We started with that. You're not going to be able to receive any of the gifts, any of the blessings of this time of year, or even open up to the beauty that's out there if you've got your heart closed. There's an oracle card that has been coming up a lot recently, which is, it shows a man and he's got his head bowed and he's looking down at the ground, and it's about refusing to see, you know. But in this sense, I'm seeing that card in my mind's eye, but it's very much about Metatron's almost like wanting to do that, you know. For those of us that have been looking down at the ground, you know, literally like that, you know, what am I going to do? How do I get past this? You know, confused, blocked. He's just literally, almost like from a cranial perspective, he's wanting to do that. He's wanting to raise your head up. And when you're looking upward, you actually can then start to see, actually, there is some good stuff out there. You know, there are some beautiful people in this world. Wow, that music sounds beautiful. All of it, you know. So, but you've got to keep your heart open and you've got to have your eyes open to be able to appreciate it. Jade comes in as well around this time, particularly those of us that are in the northern hemisphere. Jade is a really good energy just to keep your immunity ticking over nicely. It links into the higher heart, so it links into our immunity. And it's a time of year where People tend to eat badly and stop exercising as much as they might do at other times of the year. And we eat too much sugar. We maybe might drink too much alcohol. There's also just lots of bugs flying around. So the jade is a good one just to keep, as I say, keep your immunity ticking over, and just to help strengthen you from inside, really. Okay. And then the last, well, that's an interesting one. That's actually crept onto the, I've got a little grid here. I can't show you because it's got a candle on it, but this one has just crept in. I didn't even know I'd put that on. So that is the Magenta Divine Love. And I think that that's crept on there because this is all about being in the present moment. I always say that magenta as an energy is really good for helping you just to focus on the present moment. And if you think about it, how can you open up to the beauty of anything if you're not fully present? Even going back to opening this beautiful calendar, you know, it's like if I was to, say on the 1st of December, I open it up, and remember this is an analogy for life. I open it up, you know, I get box 1 out. Let's just get it out. Okay, got box 1, but actually my mind is really on, oh God, I've got to do this after that, and I must go and pick mum up, and or then I've got to go and do a shop, and oh God, I've also got to do that, but I'll just have a quick look at what's in my box. You've ruined the whole moment, okay? Being in the present moment is what Thich Nhat Hanh talks about, the Buddhist monk, is about the only thing that matters in that moment is opening this box, okay? Feeling into it, how, you know, and whether that is to do with, he talks about the washing up actually, you know, very, very ordinary everyday things, but you have to be present in the everyday moment to fully be able to appreciate it. And the washing up thing that he talks about is the fact that when you wash up, you actually notice the warmth of the water. You give thanks to the soap that is able to cleanse the dishes. You actually appreciate the shiny, clean plate afterwards that was dirty. You give thanks to the fact you've even got a plate to eat your food off. You give thanks to the fact you've got running water coming out of your tap. You do every single thing mindfully, you know, and to do that means that then you start to appreciate the beauty of everything. So I think that's why this magenta energy is coming in. And let's just spray it, because I know some of you can smell the scents when I spray them, even though you're many miles away from me. This one's not coming out very well. Probably representing the fact we've all got a bit of a block with being present. So I'm just going to change the spray nozzle. And let's try again. That's better. So magenta. Breathe in magenta. And I tell you what I've just done is I put the nozzle for the lime green heart spray into it, and so I've almost got a mixture of the heart energy and being present. So if we're just present and we're listening to what our heart says, we receive all the answers that we need at any moment in time. If we're fully present and we're listening to our heart, it helps to negate all of the confusion, all of the stress, all of the anxiety. We go back to the fact that a lot of the spiritual truths are very, very simple. It's about pausing, being present, opening up your heart, staying in a loving space and breathing. And if you can do that, even in the middle of the storm, you will find that the middle of the storm is much more bearable, that you get through to the other side of it much quicker and more unscathed. Okay? Can you just feel that energy of peace that's come in from having sprayed that magenta energy? But as I say, it also had a bit of the lime green, the heart energy to it. Oh, that's magical, actually. That combination is magical. And I tell you what, I would never have put them together. But you saw how that just happened. Magenta and lime green together. The magenta is about divine love. And the heart is about opening up to love. So how could they not work? I'm going to save Gabriel for the last, but I wanted to just, because there's so much going on with the elements at the moment, I wanted to pull a card from the Native Spirit deck to honour the earth and the changes that are going on and the elements. I'm recording this as the volcano in Bali is erupting big time. And I tell you what, I mean, anybody that's watching this in Bali, please keep yourself safe. We send you protection to your beautiful island as well, but also what a magnificent sight. What a magnificent sight. When the earth does what the earth will do, we all have to just stand back in awe at the power of nature. And there is much to learn, Metatron is saying, from, you can actually watch a live feed of it happening. There's much to learn from the flow of lava. There is much to learn from the ash. There is much to learn from the formations that are made in the earth of the flowing rivers of, I don't know what it is, silt, mud, you know, whatever is coming up. Because it's also about flow. It's teaching about flow. Because when something has built up to an intolerable point, as obviously the volcano has, and it has to erupt, it has to flow. And it's quite symptomatic also, or symbolic, of what happens to us in our lives. We get to this point where we just can't stand it any longer, you know, and we quit the job, or we leave the relationship, or I don't know, whatever it is, you know, there are many things that it can be. But really, it's better to obviously not get to that point. It's better to be able to experience flow in the day-to-day. Right, let's put a native spirit card. These definitely wanted to be included today, so let's just see which one we get. And I'm going to call on Archangel Sandalphon to help me choose this card, please. Archangel Sandalphon, which card for December do we need to hear the message of, please? Talking stick. Okay, talking stick. I don't have a talking stick, but I'd quite like a talking stick. Maybe that's something that I'd put on my Christmas list. Can you see that? Talking stick, beautiful card. All right. So, camera. I think it's in focus. The light is so bright that it's hard to see. Let me just move the camera around a bit. No, it's not making any difference. It's just really light. Looks like I'm really illuminated here. Dear, I hope it's not too bright. Not sure there's much I can do about it now. Slightly better, okay. Metatron's saying it's okay, you're illuminated. Why are you apologising? Okay, talking stick. Right, let's get back to talking stick. Let me read the message actually that goes with this card. Because I don't come from a shamanic background, I come from a angelic background, but I'm very enthusiastic about combining the two. So here we go. It says, speak your truth. The soul loves the truth. Communicate from your heart and share your reality without hesitation. Be willing to stand before the crowd and share from your centre. This isn't the time to be shy and hesitant. It's a time to heal through communication. You have the gift of a true leader through the way you communicate with others. And then it says, during tribal council meetings, a decorated stick called a talking stick would be passed around. And as each council member held the stick, he or she had the opportunity to speak from the heart. Each person in attendance would be asked to weigh carefully the words of each speaker. The talking stick reminded each person to be authentic. Communication restores trust and allows you to clarify your ideas, position and feelings. So it says, now is the time to take a risk and have the courage to speak with clarity. Be forthright. Share any unspoken darkness that lays heavy in the heart. There are times to hold back and be discerning, but this isn't one of them. Even if you're afraid, declare your truth for all to hear without fear of being rejected or misunderstood. when you do this, transformation and healing can occur. There's something coming through here about authenticity, speaking your truth, speaking it from the heart. And yeah, that is something that has been coming up recently. So I'm slightly distracted by the light of this camera, but I don't think there's anything I can do about it. Sorry guys to move it around. No, that's not very professional. No, anyway, sorry, I can't do anything about it. Yeah, something to do with being authentic at this time. And I wrote about this on my Facebook page recently. You know, just be yourself. Just be yourself. If other people don't like it, other people don't like it. You know, time is short. And I feel that this is really just a time to, when it's also talking about speak your truth and say it loudly, I also feel it's about proclaiming happiness as well, you know. You know, I'm a 50-year-old woman, I'm a woman of a certain age, my kids all think I'm terribly untrendy and embarrassing, but you know, if I want to put the radio on in the kitchen and dance around like no one's watching, hey, this is the month to do it, okay? This is the month to turn Bryan Adams up and put him out, you know, loud and clear, and have some fun. It's about vocalising joy, you know? So I really hope that this video's given you a little bit of that, okay? Let's just end with 2 sprays. I'm going to end with the Joy spray for obvious reasons, and then we're going to go into Archangel Gabriel and just see what he says, okay? So this is the Joy spray, and it's got a beautiful lemon citrusy scent. Metatron is saying, give yourself the permission to feel joy. Give yourself permission to be happy. Give yourself permission to get out there and smell the roses. Give yourself permission to focus on your light, not your darkness. And do that with the world as well. The world will always have darkness within it. It will always have people that embody that darkness. But look to the people that bring joy and light and laughter, and learn from them and be inspired by them. All is well. Let's go into Gabriel now. Archangel Gabriel, please draw near. Gabriel straight away says that she's going to say more in the next video. She wants her own video, fair enough, okay, we'll do that. But for now, Gabriel, joy and happiness don't have to be fleeting moments that come and go and pass through you. Like anything else, they are energy. And so when you experience such moments of bliss, however they may arise,